Hey, good morning everybody, it's Mike. Thanks for jumping on here with me today. Two types of marketing in this world. There's passive marketing and there's active. The difference is active marketing, you can control your response rate. You can control the number of people that you touch with your marketing action. An example of active would be making phone calls. I can control how many people I speak with, just make more calls if I want to speak with more people. That's an example, a prime example of active marketing. Passive marketing, I can't control the contact rate, the response rate. Examples of that would be print advertising. I can't control who sees it. I can't control the response rate. It's passive by nature. Okay, well, which works better? Well, neither really works better. It depends on the audience that you're going for. There are some audiences that require a very active approach. An example of that would be for sale by owners or expired listings. You're not going to just drop something in the mail to them and expect any kind of a response rate at all. It's not going to happen. It's way too passive. But there's some groups of people that active isn't appropriate for either. For example, my church. Well, there's a lot of people that attend my church. But see, I can't really cold call them on Sunday night, can I? Hey, this is Mike from church and just wondering if you've thought about making a move this year. That would violate the context of our relationship. It would feel weird and strange to them. It's not an appropriate activity with that group of people. So, which is better? It depends on who your people are and what the context of your relationship with them is. Today I want to focus in on a little bit on passive because some people will turn their nose up at passive, and I think it's just that they don't quite grasp the different types of marketing. I mean, if you have a target audience that requires active prospecting, that's fine, but you shouldn't act like it's superior to passive. One's not superior to the other. One's just more appropriate for that group of people than another. Okay? So, with passive, these typically are social groups. Could be my church, could be my neighborhood, depending on the size. Could be a social group, like for me it might be my golf club. I just can't really sell to them, but I do need these groups of people where there's some kind of personal connection to know what I do for a living. I just can't tell them. I need all the guys at my golf club to know what I do for a living, be very aware, to be the top of mind, credible expert with them, but I can't tell them. I can't walk around handing out business cards. I can't cold call them. Can't really run a lot of spammy email at them. Can't really run ads at them. So what do? Well, I implement a passive marketing campaign. Okay? So let me go over some types of passing. Types of passive. Excuse me. Having a hard time getting it out apparently. So that you can see what I'm talking about. And think of a social group that you're connected with where that might be true for you. You need them to know what you do for a living, but you can't tell them. So you just need them to know. Okay, well, I've jotted down a short list of types of passive marketing, starting with the easy ones. Your Century 21 name badge. Yeah, you know, I don't care what your opinion of this is, but most passive marketing goes to answer the question, well, why not? I mean, why don't you just put it on in the morning? I put my wedding ring on in the morning. I don't think about it the rest of the day. Why don't we just put our name badges on? It just becomes part of my uniform for the day. And people kind of expect it from real estate agents. They get it. Your name badge is a form of passive marketing. Car magnet signs. Absolutely a form of passive marketing. Now, do I expect 1,000 people to call me and beg me to come list their home? Of course not. And some of you might be thinking like me, I'm not that great of a driver. I can tend to be, let's put it this way. If we're sitting at a stoplight and I'm behind you and the light turns green and you don't go because you're looking at your phone, I am going to honk at you, and there might be a hand gesture or two to follow it. So maybe I don't want sign magnets with my name and phone number on the side of my car. But when I'm not in my car's not a car. My car's only a car when I'm in it and it's moving. When I'm not in it, it's a billboard. And I treat it like that. So whether I'm at church, or whether I'm at my golf club, or whether I'm at a civic club meeting, or sometimes, this might sound a little sneaky and dastardly to you, but many times, just on the weekend, I'll just pull my car out into the driveway and put the sign magnets on the side of it and just leave it there for the weekend. And my wife will say, why is your car parked in the driveway? Why don't you pull it into the garage? I'm like, because my car's not a car right now. My car's going to be a billboard for the weekend, and it's going to remind all of our neighbors what I do for a living. Why? Because I can't really walk around and tell them. That gets annoying. Other forms of passive marketing would be branded clothing. Most of my golf shirts have the C21 logo on them. Hats. I'll either wear a shirt with the C21 logo on it, or I'll have a Century 21 hat on when I play golf. I usually don't do both because I don't want to look like a NASCAR driver, but I'll have one or the other on. Why? It starts conversations about real estate that I don't have to start. People bring it up to me. Water bottles. A lot of us carry water bottles around. If you're going to carry a water bottle around, why not have a branded logo on there? Now, I'm going to interrupt myself here for a second. Some of you want to create your own logo because you've got your own little name for your business and you're trying to brand that. Because you took a class somewhere and they told you that's what you should do. And I'm going to tell you this morning that that's batshit crazy. That is batshit crazy. You are not going to brand yourself. And if you think you are, then I need to know how many millions of dollars you have to do this. You live in a city of 7 million people, and you're going to try to create brand awareness for your little real estate business? That is ridiculous. You can't. You don't have the time and the resources to do that. That is people that don't know what the hell they're talking about, and or they're trying to sell you something. I just bet that on the side they have a graphic artist and some products that they are glad to sell you. You can't. Coming up with your own logo design, coming up with your own little funny name is ridiculous. And it makes us look ridiculous to the consumers. And if you don't agree with that or like it, come sit down and talk to me. I'll win this debate with you. I will. Okay. What you can do, though, is you can plug in to the branding that you already are paying for. You are affiliated with one of the largest brands in the world. Now, you know, I'm not a big brand guy. I don't like to believe that one brand is better than another. I think some offices are better than others, but that's because of the people, not brands. I mean, Century 21's fine, but all the big brands, they're all the same. What can they do for you? Very little, except this. When I have Century 21 on my clothing or on my hat or on my water bottle or coffee mug, it says that I sell real estate without me having to say it. People see it. Consumer recognition worldwide is over 97%, which means this: 97% of the world's population recognizes our logo and can tell you what it is and what it does. And that makes it an iconic brand in the category with Nike, McDonald's, Adidas. There aren't a lot of brands that have that kind of consumer awareness. As a matter of fact, within our industry, the next closest brand is at 47%. We're at 97. The second place finisher in brand awareness in real estate is at 47. So I encourage you to plug into the power of the brand and make it work for you where it can. Water bottles, coffee mugs, promotional items, like I'll give away logo golf balls at my golf club. It's different for you, but think about what that is. Social media. Social media is a form of passive marketing. I can't really control the response rate. And I know some of you have taken classes and they're trying to teach you how to control the response rate and show up more frequently in more people's newsfeed. It's all a bunch of crap, but they're trying to make a living too, so they make it sound real smart and edgy. Most of it's a decade old and not relevant anymore. But I do agree that social media can be a form of passive marketing. My branded Century 21 email account with my signature stamp at the bottom is a form. I use it in all facets of my life. Sure, for business, but mostly for personal, because I want all the people in my personal life to be constantly reminded of what I do for a living, and I don't want to have to tell them. So it's just always there. Is it big and splashy? No, most passive is very subtle. And that's why it has to be in front of people all the time. You know what's another example of passive marketing that's on a little bit bigger scale? How about our delivery van and our MSO? It's kind of the reason why we have it. Kind of the reason why I want you to find ways to use it. Why? Because it says that we sell real estate without us having to say it, doesn't it? That's right. Two types of marketing out there, folks. Which one should you do? Depends on who your people are. Why don't you get with me and let's talk about it and let's decide what's right for you. And if we do all that, you know what we've just done? We've gone out there and we've made it happen for ourselves today.